Now don't click away just yet. I know a lot of people like to click away immediately. Well, I totally realize I have been gone for a long time. For those of you that have watched my videos before, thank you for coming back. For those of you that are just tuning in, I live on the island of Samar in the Philippines, in the province, with my wife and child and her family. You know, I know a lot of expats are like, oh yeah, you pay for the whole damn family, but that isn't really the case here. Now, I know there's a lot of guys that are continuing to think that they want to move to the Philippines. And if that's what you want to do, that is good. Let me give you a piece of advice. And I don't like to hand out advice. I just like to say that, you know, this is how it is. But the thing is, there's so many places on YouTube with Philippine vloggers that would tell you the same thing over and over and over again. And frankly, I'm getting tired of it. You know, there's guys that'll say you got to have this much money to live here, or you can't live here unless you have this much money, or you're an idiot if you do this, or every girl will scam you. I don't want to hear about that kind of stuff. You can see all the negativity everywhere. And the thing is if you want to move here, move here. If you want to live in the province, live in the province. Don't let anybody say that's a stupid idea. If you want to live in the city, live in the city. I always say you do you, and that's what you need to do. You need to do you. One thing I would recommend is not going online on Facebook, for instance, and getting on these Philippine expat sites. There are some of the most negative people there. Now, I'm not saying all of them, but there are some of the most negative people there. And I don't know if it's some kind of malfunction within their nervous system or something, or they've had some bad upbringing. They've definitely must have had some bad experiences, because they talk about the experience in the Philippines as some of the worst times of their lives. Women just looking at men as ATMs and how everybody will rip you off and yada yada. You know, no place is perfect. You know, and not all women look at you as an ATM. Now, sure, we do a hell of a lot better in the United States of America. We work our asses off there. Here, they don't have that kind of opportunity. Money is a bit scarce for a large percentage of the population. Is it nice to get with somebody that has money? Yeah, sure. Women in the U.S. do it all the time. What do you bring to the table? It's like, look, you as a guy, you would go ahead and date a really cute lady that worked at a Burger King. Now, as a girl, there's no way some girl's going to like, yeah, that's my future husband working at a Burger King. It's just not the way it works. The thing is you come over here, definitely boots on the ground, find yourself a really nice woman, and you can even do it online. There are a lot of great websites and dating sites online where you can find really, really good girls. Yeah, they're scammers, sure. But the thing is just to play it right. You know, play it in your head. Make sure you know what you're doing. Don't be a simp. You know, one thing that I will say is the good advice is don't lead with your wallet, okay? Get to know somebody. Talk with 3 or 4 girls if you want. You know, find out which one. You know, look for the red flags, things like that. But don't think that, you know, coming over here is the worst mistake you'll ever make in your life. And even if it does become that, you learn from your mistakes. Here's something, for instance. I think my Filipina long-distance girlfriend is cheating on me. I hear a guy sometimes when she video calls me. She says it's her cousin, but I'm not sure. How can I find out? Well, most likely, it probably is her cousin. But you know what? You can never be 100% sure. She's your long-distance girlfriend. Have you been here? Has she just been your long-distance girlfriend online? The thing is if you meet these girls online and you call them your long-distance girlfriend, you're gonna have to come to the Philippines. And yeah, maybe it's just her cousin. I remember when I used to talk to my wife, there'd be guys in the background, and she'd say, it's my cousin. Guess what? It was her cousin, okay? I'm not worried about that. My wife, I don't know, I think I really lucked out. And there's a lot of guys here in the Philippines that would back me up on this, saying that they have completely lucked out. You know, I've been here for almost 4 years now. I have never shaved myself. My wife won't let me shave myself. She insists on shaving me every time I need to shave. If I need a manicure or a pedicure, my wife is doing it. She makes sure that I always have a cold glass of water. You know, I've got a Yeti cup. that I throw ice in, and she's always makes sure that it's full of water. As soon as I wake up in the morning, she's making me coffee, making me tea. You know, there's wonderful, wonderful women out there that are looking for good men. And you won't find that kind of woman. I won't say you won't find it, but very rarely will you find that in a woman from the West. Hallelujah. Very rarely will you find that from a woman in the West. Most of the time you'll find her at, Walmart in her PJs or something. But women just don't like to go that extra mile. And no, it's what can you do for them? But here it's what can she do for me? And it's a wonderful time. Always a smile on her face. Always a smile on my face hanging out with her. I hang out here in the barangay. We have a great time. Her family is everywhere. Cousins, uncles, aunts, nephews, niece, everywhere. I mean, I look out my window right here. I don't know if you can see it. It's getting kind of dark, but it's nothing but it's nothing but jungle out there. The hospital is about 10 minutes away. And somebody did ask me that. I want to make sure I want to touch on that. Somebody had sent me a question about living in the province and what about the hospital in case somebody has a stroke or if they have a heart attack, minutes count. I look at it like this, is that, in the U.S., hospitals are just minutes away, yet still people die from strokes and heart attacks. I don't think it's how close you are to the hospital. It's if it's your time, it's your time. You're going to go. So instead of worrying about that so much, and maybe it's bad advice, I don't care, but I'm here to live life. I just think about day to day and enjoy the life that I've got and enjoy the people that I have around me. I enjoy the time that I have. But the thing is you can die tomorrow, and it's probably not going to be a heart attack or a stroke. So why even concern yourself about that? Sure, I go get checkups. I still go to the hospital every, 6 months or so, get the whole checkup done, the heart, the blood tests, all of that stuff, and everything comes out fine. And it's so incredibly inexpensive. I go see a doctor for like 500 pesos, which is basically about $8. Yeah, it's probably about $8. Even the peso, as I do this, the peso is going up. It's reached 60 pesos per 1 USD. And I think if within the next month, it may go 61, 62, but I think while all of this stuff is going on in the Middle East, it's going to probably stick around 58 to 60. I don't think it'd go below 57. Of course, that's just me speculating. You want to retire here, you want to stay healthy. They've got a lot of healthy food here. You can find good food. You don't have to eat all the fried food that's available on the street because, yeah, it's good, but there's some crappy, unhealthy stuff available. Excuse me. There's some crappy, unhealthy stuff available, and that's just the way it is, and you'll find that anywhere. But you go to any outdoor market or, any market in the city or a province or anything, you'll find the freshest vegetables, the best stuff you could ever find, and at much lower prices than you can find at the S&R or the Metro or the Robinson's grocery store, things like that. Now, if you got to have that Western food Jones that you got to fix every once in a while, you can find that stuff too. It's going to cost you a little bit more. Find a good place that you can find yourself some good meat. It's hard to find in the provinces, but there's some places out of Tacloban, Cebu, Manila that ship beef and stuff around different areas in the Philippines. It's mostly Australian beef, which I'm sorry, Australian guys, isn't as good as USDA. It's just a fact. But still, it's good beef. And you can get plenty of, like I said, fresh vegetables. And so you're good as far as health. If you want to come over here and drink all the time and smoke all the time, but however, when I say smoke all the time, I said in one of my videos about a month and a half ago that I was going to quit smoking. And I have indeed not smoked a cigarette in over a month. So I think I've made it, at least this far. But, it's so difficult. You Jones all the time, thinking, hey, right now would be a great time to have a cigarette. But of course, I've managed to stay away from it, so I'm feeling pretty good about it. But as long as you get your checkups and stuff, all of the meds that you need are readily available here at Mercury and other places, so you're going to be fine when it comes to medical. And if you die, it was your time. Just whatever, you know? Look, we're not meant to live forever. It's going to happen sometime. There have been many guys here that haven't died from heart attacks and strokes, but have passed away. And it was from neither of them. Look at there, I was talking about long-distance cheating, and I went off on a tangent. I apologize. And if you do decide to come to the Philippines, maybe it's on a quick 2-week trip or maybe even a month, you don't need to bring a buttload of suitcases. Maybe just a carry-on and a backpack, okay? And in that, you can have your toiletries. Bring yourself a pair of comfortable shoes. You want some slippers, or as they call them in the U.S., flip-flops, but you want slippers. Shorts, T-shirts, underwears, and that's about it, really. Unless you're coming over here for something really specific, that you need to have something specific for that occasion, you're going to just be running around, checking things out, and everybody here just wears shorts and T-shirts. I would maybe say bring one pair of long pants, whether you're into khakis or jeans, that's up to you, whatever you want to do. Seriously, everybody's expectation is different. Some people will see every video in the world. They will say, wow, that's for me. They will arrive here and go, this place sucks. And some people will go, I don't know. God, and then they'll arrive here and they'll go, wow, I can't believe I didn't get here sooner. So you have to go by your own thoughts. I could say this and this and this, and it may not even matter to any of your situation because you're different. You'll experience everything different than anybody else. And if you're looking for a wife or a girlfriend, I think the Philippines is a great place to do that. But I think the window of opportunity is going to be closing here within the next few years, as more and more people discover the incredibleness of the Philippines and the Filipina. And there are a lot of beautiful women here. There's ugly ones here too, and there's fat ones here too. But there's just something beautiful about a Filipina woman. They got that certain je ne sais quoi. For an extra groovy Las Vegas kind of guy like myself. Okay, I'm not from Las Vegas. So do you want to move to the Philippines? Move to the Philippines. Do you want to visit the Philippines? Visit the Philippines. Do you have an online girlfriend? You better get your ass over here and at least say hi to her, because she's not your girlfriend unless you've actually met her. And she could be different. Completely different. You know, just like any person in the world, you can put on an act. And with all that said, I was talking about so many channels on YouTube vlogging from the Philippines. Some of them to me are just corny, and there's some that you just get so much information, and then some that's just the same stuff, just regurgitated by different vloggers. It's getting to the point where it really is just boring me, and maybe I tried to do it a little differently. I try to build a community. Look, I don't have breasts where I can attract all these thousands and thousands and thousands of viewers. I don't have a bikini that I can wear on the beach for, like some of these vlogettes, or I can't, put a thumbnail of me in a cop uniform with my cleavage hanging out to get you to click on my video. I want to do something that just kind of really excites me. And so I'm not sure the direction I'm going to take the channel. I'm going to continue to vlog about the Philippines, about my life here, but I'm going to do it on my terms. I'm here to make myself happy. If watching the videos and you get something out of it and that makes you happy, I'm totally cool with that. I love that, because that's what I was trying to build, is a community of people that really know that the Philippines is really a great place. If you have your head, strapped on straight, it really, really is a wonderful place to live. Still to this day, I've been here for so many years, just riding down the street in a trike, the same street that I go down all the time, I still get that feeling of, wow, I am just amazed by this, that this is where I live now. I'm amazed. And, you know, it's not big, tall mansions. I'm not eating at the Palms. I'm not, you know, doing the things that I've done for a lot of years. I'm just riding down a trike. There's trash on the road. Although that makes me sad to see, there's just nothing like it on Earth. It makes me proud to be here and part of the culture and part of everybody here in the Philippines. And I love this country. I do. And sure, it's got its problems. It really does have its problems. And I know I'm just going on and on and on. But if there's anything that you want me to cover, I certainly will do that because, like I said again, it's about building community. If you want to subscribe to the channel, you can. I would really appreciate that. Please, if you would leave a comment, that really, really helps. If you share or even hype the video, that would be awesome. That would help as well. And if you don't like the direction that I may take the channel, who knows, go ahead and unsubscribe and never watch again. That's unfortunate because I would really love to have you along. It's a journey. Life is a journey, man, and I'd love to travel it with you. And you can tell me what you're doing. I'll continue reporting on what I'm doing. I love to hear from everybody, you know, and I've heard the bad and the good. People have ripped me, and that stuff doesn't bother me. And in fact, it's funny sometimes. If I can give advice or you have a question or whatever, I've been here long enough that I could tell you, but I just don't want to keep regurgitating the same things that all the other channels are regurgitating. There's not that much you can really talk about except for, look, you've got the beaches, the hospitals, the cost of living, province or city, or chicks. That's it. Those 5 things. And I don't want to just keep doing 5 videos after 5 videos after 5 videos after the same thing. I want to expand. I want to do other things. My interests are vast as yours are. So let's do community instead of just right down the pike and say this channel is only going to do this, this, and this. I'll do the Philippines. I'll do whatever, you know. I traveled to the United States and I didn't want to load up my video about going to the US because I didn't think, you know, hey, it's a Filipino channel, you know, people are not going to be interested in my trip to the US, but I think I'll go ahead and load that up because I went over there for my birthday and to get a pizza. That's right. I flew to the US because it'd been years since I've had a good pizza. So I went there to my friend's Italian restaurant. They were closed, by the way, but they opened it up specifically for me and made me a pizza, and it was fantastic. And if you want me to upload that video, just go ahead and say yes in the comments, and I will do that. And again, thank you very much. As always, love you. Be excellent to each other.